like to quickly go over the facts of what's happened to weaken the Islamic Republic and what's happened to strengthen them. So let's start with the strengthening. The oil sanctions were waived, the blockade was lifted. The Islamic Republic has sold. Actually, Saeed Ghassanijad today, I remember reading this earlier. Let me pull this up for you guys so we can see how much money the Islamic Republic has made in the past 15 days. So here it is. So this is our oil expert, completely trustworthy. And he said, after the lifting of the US blockade, so about what has been like 2 weeks now, a little bit more than 2 weeks, Tehran has exported 3.2 million barrels per day of oil, all to China. And he's right about this. Worth 3.5 to $4 billion. Here's the thing. The Islamic Republic has made $4 billion. I would say actually a little bit more than that because there were some back payments that they hadn't received from China, which they can now get. And here's the part. So I went and researched because I really wanted to know. Remember, we talked about this when the blockade was lifted. I was saying, well, the banks that would be buying oil from the Islamic Republic might not want to do it because they'll be sanctioned after 60 days. When the MOU is done, they have technically worked with the IRGC, which is labeled as a terrorist organization. These banks are going to get hit with secondary sanctions.
They get a letter
And then,
before they do that.
yeah, and then we were talking about that, and so I was like, okay, well, are they gonna do it? Are they not? I mean, it's capitalism. Why not just buy the cheaper oil? It turns out that they're not doing it, which is very surprising to me. So all of this oil has actually been bought by China, and other banks and other organizations around the world are not buying this oil, which is crazy to me. I thought you'd be completely like, capitalism, but they're not doing it. I don't know if that's a
Capitalism is
deterrence,
risk averse. No, capitalism is risk averse.
but it's also profit. So they're like
Yeah,
gauging
but
the risk and the profit, and I guess they decided the risk was not
profit
worth the profit.
profit has justified the risk, right? So higher risk, higher returns. If it's higher, even if you have higher returns, if it doesn't justify, because your returns are discounted by the risk, by the amount of risk, right? So they discounted the present value of future cash flows are discounted based on the risk that you're taking. So, a future, $10 million that is risky is less valuable, could be less valuable than $8 million that is safe.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was thinking. So FDD has confirmed that this oil is not being bought by anyone other than China. Other banks and other countries have the option to do it, and they just aren't doing it.
Not
So
touching.
Scott Bessent is doing his job very well, because
Mm.
keep in mind, there is nothing in the MOU that says other countries cannot buy this oil. They can. Actually, there's no penalties against it for this 60 days. Afterwards there are, but if they wanted to buy right now they could, and they aren't. That means that the deterrence
But
of the
but
United States Treasury is more than the potential profit they'll make in this 2 months.
but no, but China is buying it at full price instead of the discount.
Ghalibaf today said they're buying it at 20% higher than they used to.
Yeah, because the sanction removal, so you don't have to sell it at even though China is buying it only, they're buying it at the ordinary price, not at the discounted price that they used to. So the Islamic Republic is making more money compared to
They're
before.
making more money. So the
But
blockade was
but
lifted.
but here's the thing. I think it's worth it. I know the Islamic Republic is making money, but they were already making money. Okay, the pause that you had in making them oil money is already a loss that they can never recover from, right?
Wait, let's
Allowing
just keep it to the facts, so we don't give our opinions to people just yet. And I want
oh,
people to just see just the facts. Um, so yeah, blockade got lifted. They're selling their oil. They've made 4 billion so far. And are there any other upsides to this? What are the
they got
positives? What has the Islamic Republic gained?
They just got $3 billion, didn't they, from frozen assets from Qatar? Didn't that just
From
happen?
Qatar. Okay, okay, so 7 billion in total. I'm trying to think, is there anything else here?
You got corn.
Not yet, but hopefully. Okay, yeah, so 7 billion. They roughly gotten $7 billion in the past half month, so the past 15, 20 days. Okay, so
Wait, the
those are the
money that they got
positives.
from the oil, though, isn't that just vouchers for American food, or like all the money that they're selling, all of that is going to vouchers for American food, correct?
It should be correct, yeah.
Including, what about the frozen money that is being received? Is
That
that
should
just cash?
also Scott Besson also said the frozen assets also come to the United States to buy
So
food.
both the money from the oil sale and the money from the frozen assets released to the Islamic Republic is coming to them in a form of food stamps, basically. Both of them for
Correct.
American food. Okay.
Correct. The
Man,
United States will
American
control all of the
farmers.
money that the Islamic Republic has made. That is the deal. Although why I freaked out is because when the US Treasury issued General License X, allowing the Islamic Republic to sell their oil, and in the MOU, nothing was said about this. But then Scott Bessent verbally came out and said, we will control both the frozen assets and the money that they make from the oil. And I was like, okay, you know what? I, weirdly enough, do trust you more than President Trump, just personally. So, yeah, whatever you say, Scott Bessent, I believe you. And yeah, this $7 billion is going to go
But
back to the
don't
United
just
States
believe and
farmers.
wait for it to actually happen to see that it
Yep.
happened. Yeah.
So that's the positive. Two things. They are two
Positive,
positives here
positive for the Islamic Republic.
for the Islamic Republic. Yeah. Oh, actually, you can argue that they've had this time to kind of like build up a strategy. Not that we've seen it,
Build
but
missiles.
they got
Oh
some
yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah. They built missiles on a very rapid pace. So the Islamic Republic has used this time to build drones and missiles.
Yeah.
A
So
lot.
they're regrouping to some extent.
Right. Also,
These are the
okay. So let's do
positives.
all the positive for the Islamic Republic. One
Let's do
else,
it.
what else is that they managed to, at least at the top tier leadership, they got their act together. They filled in the
Mhm.
power vacuum. They avoided a civil war, and people's understanding of who's what and who's in charge has now been established. Right. We do have still a lot of drama and infighting at the lower levels, but it seems at the higher levels, people are like, okay, you here, you're here, you're here. At first, everything was like they all were running around like chickens with their heads cut off, but now, which is literally what happened to them. But now they're all back to, okay, like let's organize this, let's figure out who's in charge of what. So they got a little bit more organized, and I think they probably are coming up with strategies of what to do next time where half of us die.
Exactly. They're also actually making preparations for a U.S. invasion on the southern coast. That the commander, the one who was in charge of the Argentina bombing, the one who ordered a
Right.
hit on his own son, came out today and said that if Americans invade, they will suffer thousands of casualties. So it shows that he's at least thought about the U.S. Marines
Yes.
invading the southern coast of Iran. So they have come up
So
with plans.
so within the Islamic Republic, most of the analysts of the Islamic Republic are under the impression that a third war is coming and it cannot be stopped, right? And they're preparing for it, and they think that, just in the same way that we were waiting for USS Boxer, their prediction was like at one point or another, Americans are going to come and try to attack from, the soft belly of the cat, from under Iran, because Iran is like a fortress from all sides except the under the belly of the cat, which is the Persian Gulf, right? So this is yeah, exactly. Most of Iran is like a fortress, except that southern part. That's where you could bring ships and everything and do what you get into, right? So at some point, At some point, the Islamic Republic. By the way, Ali, we were exactly here before. After the 12-day war, we said that, yep, they're going to come back. The 12-day war is not the end of it. And then the 40-day war happened, and it was not a surprise, right? Now,
Correct.
people are we're exactly in that situation. Everybody is saying that at some one point or another, we were going to have a third, like the 12-day war was the first one. Then we had it was a 40-day. That Epic Fury was 40 days, right? Wasn't it? I forgot.
Correct.
Then we have the 12-day war. Then we had the pause period. Then we had the 40-day war. We have a pause period now. People are saying the third war is coming. The third war is coming.
Exactly. We're back in the same spot where everyone agrees another fight will happen. Even the Iranian regime, the Islamic Republic, believes that a third war is coming. So we're back where we are, back where ships are coming. People are still saying, "Oh, that's just deterrence." Everyone's saying, "Yeah, a third war will happen." A lot of the same patterns are repeating.
Remember when we were saying that all of this military asset moving towards Iran is not happening for no reason? Right? Remember when we were saying that? And well, now we're having USS Boxer. It's interesting because when USS Abraham Lincoln and stuff were coming to the Persian Gulf, those stuff are used for aerial bombardment. And what do we get? Aerial bombardment. Now the USS Boxer is coming. Those stuff are used for ground invasion on your shores. So
Correct.
if we repeat the same trend before, we might see ground invasion by U.S. Marines in southern Iran. So there's
Correct.
that.
So those are the
There's one though.
positives of the Islamic Republic. Okay, so again,
By the
quickly,
way,
the
Ali,
positives are yeah.
you guys, if you see this being talked about tomorrow, just remember you saw this nowhere else. I'm not saying, like, why am I not seeing this anywhere else? Ali is bringing this to us before anyone else. Like, I'm looking everywhere. How did you
For
see it,
Boxer?
Ali? Like that? Yeah, the fact, like, because I'm seeing like none of my news sources are reporting this.
I
How
know.
the
I
fuck
was
did you see this?
disappointed. I checked and I saw no one post about it. This was before CENTCOM posted. I just saw the US Naval Institute and then I put two and two together. Because remember last week we were saying the USS Boxer moved west, turned off his transponder. Now they're in the Indian Ocean. And I was like, okay, well, they're going to Iran. I looked around, no one's posting about it. I'm like, what's going on? This is one of the biggest indicators of war. And then I posted about it. No one looked at it. And then CENTCOM this morning confirmed. And they posted, they're like, yep,
Wow.
the USS Boxer it's traversing the Indian Ocean.
So you
It's gonna
figured it out and posted about it before CENTCOM confirmed it.
Yes, last night. Yeah, I mean, it's even on my Twitter feed. Last night I posted about it.
Holy shit, that's impressive.
So those are the positives real quick. They got 3 billion of frozen assets unfrozen. They've made 4 billion, if we're being a little generous, off of oil. These are all going to be food stamps. They have to give this money to the US. The US gives them food in return and medical supplies and other things. Okay. They have they're building a lot of drones. They're uncovering their underground bunkers to get missiles out. They're building strategies on how to deal with the US militarily, which, I mean, they had 47 years to come up with strategies against the US, and we saw what happened. So this is the United States military we're talking about.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.